is Thundershot, and we have what should be a short little topic for you guys today, but what I wanted to talk about today was gets brought up to me is because it was actually sparked in a video I made a couple days ago where I broke a bunch of big news on Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, the possibility of 3 versus 3 fights, the whole 120 character slot option, and then I think it was 28 stages, I'm not sure. Anyways, if you click on my channel link, you'll see that one. It's a recent video. If not, I'll remember to leave it in the description down below. But anyways, there was a lot of conversation on there talking about whether or not we're going to get GT characters or if we even want GT characters. So I was going to talk about that today. So basically, I'm going to give you guys two sides. First one will be from a logistics standpoint on the Dragon Ball Z team, and the second one will be on the fan base one. But let's start with a logistics one. So logistically for Dragon Ball Z, and what I mean by that is as far as their storytelling goes, and they've been kind of wanting to erase GT off the map for a while, ever since Battle of the Gods came out. So logistically for them, doesn't make sense for them to put GT in this game at all anyway. And my honest answer to that is no, it really doesn't make sense for them to put GT, because it still might be possible that they can link Battle of Gods and that timeline back around to GT, but I consider that very unlikely. I think they are trying to erase GT from existence as far as story mode goes. So for them to put it in this game at launch, I think it would probably confuse a lot of people and maybe might not make much sense. Plus, if they are going to have power levels in this game like it's looking like they are, they would have to answer the question on is Super Saiyan God Goku stronger or Super Saiyan 4, and it's like I said, it would be very confusing for them to have GT in this game on launch. So I say logistically, no, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So one of my subscribers brought up the point that, well, Xenoverse implies that there could be multiple universes, multiple timelines. One of them could have GT and one of them could have the Battle of the Gods. And to that I say, that's a really good point, but I still think that would probably be too confusing for the main public to understand. And like, well, I don't know, why did he go Super Saiyan 4 in this one and God in the other one? You know what I mean? I think it would be really hard for them to play that out and make it work well, but you never know. So anyways, I'm going to stand by my point and say logistically, no, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to put GT in this game, and that's why I don't think it will be. However, from a fan base standpoint, especially from a super fan like myself, and I'm sure many of you guys, hell yeah, I want GT in the game. I see no reason, I mean, again, from a fan base standpoint, other than the whole logistics thing, other than everything I just said, it would be really cool to have GT in this game, because GT characters means more characters, in my opinion, almost means more fun every single time. If we could get all the original characters from the original Dragon Ball in the game, I would be thrilled with that. Now, I'm not going to get into that today because we're focusing on the GT topic, but more characters is never a bad thing. And for the fans who want GT in there, I completely understand where you're coming from. Like I just said, more characters is never a bad thing. I want Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I want Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I want Omega Shenron and all the cool villains like Nova and all that stuff. But then there are fans out there who don't want GT in the game at all. And to them I say, kinda. I can see where you wouldn't want GT in your story mode, because there are a lot of fans who just really dislike GT, and I guess I can understand that. But I can see why you wouldn't want GT in your story mode gameplay and like the main single player campaign thing. I can kind of understand that because you don't like the series. But as far as characters being in the game go, as far as playable characters being an option in the game, just don't play them. You know what I mean? Like if GT does for whatever reason make it into this game and there's a bunch of GT playable characters in the game, just don't play them if you don't like GT. You don't have to be like upset that GT made it into the game. Just don't play the GT characters. You get what I'm saying? Like you can ignore that they gave you a bunch of extra stuff. You don't have to use that. And that's my counter argument to that. But anyways, I've covered my logistics on Dragon Ball Xenoverse and why they probably won't have GT in it, and I've covered my fan base on why I would really prefer GT to be in it, or at least GT characters. And I think I've came up with a proper solution, and I can't give myself all the credit because there were subscribers of mine who left comments about this in my last video that I mentioned, but I think that the perfect solution to this problem would be release Dragon Ball Xenoverse without GT characters. Do the Super Saiyan God route, get Beerus, get Whis, get everyone like that. Try to get all the movie characters from Z. Basically get everyone from Z you can and jam-pack it into this game. Then when this game's been out for 3 months, maybe 6 months, hell, maybe even 9 months to a year, but when this game's been out for a little while, but I would say at least 3 months or longer, then, because by then it'll be going stale to most people. That's usually the life cycle of the game. It usually doesn't make it much farther than 3 months, unless it's a super awesome game or something like that. Then when it starts to go stale, you release a GT pack, and the GT pack has all the GT characters we want. Hell, you can even play as Pan and GT Trunks and Kid GT Goku, who can go Super Saiyan 4, and they can fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Vegeta can go Super Saiyan 4, all that stuff. You give us a DLC pack with all of that awesome stuff in it, and then maybe even give us another little separate story Xenoverse style with GT characters implemented instead. I mean, you know, just a little DLC pack that could be 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks if you put a whole lot of work into it, whatever. I would be okay with that. And then there's a lot of people, including myself, who know DLCs can be done really, really wrong. DLCs can be done really, really money hungry. I'm mainly looking at you, EA. But I think if they did it this way, I think it would go over really well, because then those fans who don't want GT in their game and all don't have to buy the DLC pack, and then everyone else who does want GT, it comes out and it gives you bonus GT content, bonus GT story mode, and all that stuff. I think that would be a win-win for everyone. The gaming company would get more money off of their DLC pack. People who don't like people who don't like GT don't have to have GT in their game, and people who do like GT can buy the GT pack once they get done playing actual Xenoverse. I think that's a win-win for everyone. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of my idea. Let me know what you think of GT being in the game itself and all that good stuff. Also, if you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe. I release Dragon Ball Xenoverse news as it comes out, so go ahead and, again, click the subscribe button so you can be reported on by me and know everything I know as soon as I know it. Isn't that neat? And also, click the like button if you're new around here, and like I said, leave the comment on the thing down below. I want to thank all you guys for coming out today. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I'm Thundershot, and I'm out. Peace, guys.